The challenge itself, well, of course we're not going to read all this text. It's on the website as well, and most of you probably have read it. But I would like to focus on some points in here, like, okay, it's about cargo insurance, it's on the protocol level, fully open sourced, and maybe this is a very important sentence. Yes, from the start, the idea from TVM is other insurance companies should be included as well. And, well, from maybe Dana's perspective, other cargo platforms, other companies, everybody should be included, otherwise this will not work. We see many initiatives in our... is that a team? We see many initiatives in our sector building upon blockchain, and many of them are private, semi-private, and they just don't get scale up, don't get lift off. Well, I think the insights Dan gave us in our sector sketchy situation where liftoff from a private protocol point of view is practically impossible. The scenario, very simple. What we all want is, in this case, a car is produced. It needs transportation, so a truck arrives, car is loaded, cross-border, of course. We don't build cars in, we do build cars in the Netherlands, but most of them are built abroad. And in the end, the car is delivered and everybody's happy. This is the scenario we all want. But, scenario 2, what if the car never arrives? Then the question, of course, is what happened in between? Did the truck get lost? Did it get robbed? Did it go in another direction? We don't know. Now it gets a bit more complicated, because if it doesn't arrive, what happened? Who's liable? What do we have to do to still make sure everybody in the chain get what they have the rights to? And also, this is the moment where data becomes interesting, because in the happy flow, all parties involved can share their data. It's not really an issue. But what if the truck gets lost? Should law enforcement get the data immediately? Do we want them to have insights already? We'll go on into that later on, but data in this chain is, in many chains, but in this chain is very interesting. When does who get access to the data? Because think about an open protocol where the data is always available to everybody. I'm not sure it's a good idea that we share with the whole world that there's a truck full of iPhones driving around the A28 right now. There are a few people interested. We don't want them to be interested. But if the truck gets robbed, then maybe at that point you want law enforcement to be involved and get the data. Might be a scenario. So that's very interesting. When is the data available to whom? Third scenario. The car does arrive at the destination, but it's damaged. Then also the question comes up, where did it get damaged? Who did it? Who's liable for this? Who's going to pay for the damage? Fourth one, it arrives, but it's not on time. If it's my new car, then yes, it's a big problem. But maybe if this is an exhibit of exclusive cars, which happens this week, and the car arrives in 2 weeks, it's kind of a problem. Actually, the damage is quite big. What happens? Well, Jan is going to provide us with all the answers later on. Scenario 5, maybe a bit more complex, but also closer to reality. Few cars are produced, transported in a distribution center. There's a subcontractor also doing some part of the transportation. And of course, in the happy scenario, everything gets delivered, but what if it doesn't? Again, what if a car is damaged? What if one of the cars is missing? What if it's mixed up? What if it's late? And again, the question, if that happens, who gets what data when? Because we could, what Dan showed us is that there's, if we could share data, we could get more flexibility, we could get more trust, then the chain would be more efficient. But the answer cannot be, we're going to share all data with the whole world. How are we going to do that? So far for the scenarios we had in mind, and again, complexity is huge, so we can increase from here, but we try to build it up from the bottom so that we could all have some sort of basic understanding of the problems at hand.